Hello everyone, this is Ava with Stitching in the Interlake. Thank you so very much for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. It is the 26th of June 2021 and this is my Stitch With Me video number 3. Earlier this morning I had done this entire video. And it was beautiful. It was wonderful. And I went to go and watch it. And all of a sudden, I touched the wrong button. It was gone. So I thought, okay, I need a bit of a break because I was talked out. So now I'm back to stitching again. And this is Country Living. I got this at Everyday eCrafts. I'm trying to find my picture again. And wouldn't you know it, I don't know where it ended up. I have no idea where the darn thing ended up. But this is an 11 count. It is printed, as you can see. And I am working on this with 2 strands. Normally on 11 count you work with 3, but I'm finding I like the effect of just 2 strands. It doesn't look so bulky and I don't know. Bulky is the only word I can think of. So I am working right here. Yesterday I was working here. Oops, wait a minute. Here, I've got my camera angle different now again. Okay, here and here. And I finished up this morning. So now I'm working on over here. And I had done where I showed you how to stitch. And I may just, how about if I do a little bit again and give you an idea on how to stitch in hand and how to do the sewing method. Now the sewing method really only works with a project if you're stitching in hand, because if you're using any kind of a hoop or Q-snap or frame or whatever, it's not, you're just not going to get it because you're going to end up, it's too tight. So, okay, so I'm going to just finish up down here. And I'm going to move over to here. Okay, so when I start, like you can see here how I hold my fabric. Okay. It is, let's see, okay, it's not tight, okay, I don't need to do that, just as long as I have a grip on it. And then what I do is, I find where I want to stitch, I bring my needle up from the bottom, and because I stitch my bottom leg or arm, whichever way you prefer it, I go from bottom left to top right. Top right to bottom left will give you the same thing. Okay? The end result is the same thing. But I come up here underneath. I go, let's make sure here. I go down, and just so that my tip is touching my finger underneath, and I pull my needle through. You see, it's only one hole. Okay. And I go down again. And as you can see here with my finger, it doesn't press, you don't break the skin, you need that fluidity in your hands and fingers. So I go down, and then I come up again. And as you can see, that gives me my bottom arm. So my bottom arm will always go in that direction. So down and up. Down and up. Down. Okay. And here, if I can, I don't know if that's going to show there. Okay. When I go down, my finger is like this. And you can see here that, sorry, just a second. When I put my needle so that I can come up this way, it only rests. It just rests here. Okay. And it just glides over my finger. And I gently but firmly, especially on my right hand, push it through. And as you can see, you don't have to make it like tight. Okay? You don't have to make it tight, tight, tight. Okay? You don't have to do that. But it is so that my stitch lays just across there. Okay? That it just lays on the fabric. And then when I go down, I do the same thing. And there's my top stitch. And then I go down and move it under and up. Down and up. Down and up and down. Now, supposing I want to do a stitch, say I have to miss a whole row and I have to go over here. So then I count over 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I pull my needle up. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a crossover here. Now, I don't mind that. That's okay. And then I put my needle down and go up. So, okay, so I'm doing here, and say I want to go down to this one. So I put my needle there, and I bring it there, and up again. Come on. My hand is a little bit sore now. Okay. Come on. There. Okay. So it will be like that. But as you can see, my bottom arm goes in the exact same direction. Okay. And therefore, my top arm goes. So if I wanted to go up and do this stitch here, I've gone underneath and I pull that, see, and you don't pull it tight because you can see how the fabric, it just wants to bunch up. You don't do that. Just whatever you do, you make sure that the direction you put your bottom arm always goes the same. Always, 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 always goes the same direction. So you go down and up. You see? So down and up. There. And that's all there is to doing the sewing method. You just find where it is that the next stitch is, and you direct your needle there. So it's faster than going in and out, even two-handed. Okay? I find that motion, because you're using both shoulders, both arms, both hands, both fingers, that it is, sorry, just putting my feet up, that it's much more tedious. Okay, so I have finished here. I gotta see. There. Now I'm going, do you see here? I came up over here, and I go down here to complete my X, and then I come over here because that's the next one. Oh, needle dropped. There. Okay. So now I go from here over to here and down and up. And I just keep working away at it. So yeah. So it just, you have to find your way with this. Okay? You have to find whatever way works best for you. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. With the camera over the other way, I can't really move this. Gotta move my drink over here because I don't want to spill it. Knowing me, I probably would. Okay, is that any better? Let's see. See, I need a camera going straight down the middle because I lose my way. I lose my way where I am. Okay. So, what you can also do is you can roll your project, the canvas, up, and you can do like that. You just find your way, whatever makes you comfortable. Okay? So I'm just going to stitch along here. And I go, you know how they always say the shortest distance between two places is in a straight line. So I do the shortest way to cover my area without dragging my threads underneath. So I plan out my route as I'm going along. And I do that planning. Oh, I do that planning as I'm putting my stitches ahead. It's just like when driving, right? They always say you look 2 cars ahead of where you are. Like if you're driving on a freeway, say, or something. And because then you know where to put your next stitch. Oh, and by driving, I wanted to also say, when you're following behind another vehicle, try and stay at least 1 car length behind the other vehicle. And the reason why I say that is because, say in winter up in the northern regions or southern, but in winter up here, that the roads can become slippery. Same when it's raining. And you can have a vehicle that comes along behind you and slams the brakes and hits you. So if you're 1 car length away, it minimizes or even can stop you from rolling into the next vehicle. And that's something I live by all year long. Even someone who's not paying attention, and heaven forbid anybody who is still texting and driving or using their phone and driving. Oh my gosh. You know what? That ticks me off. That just burns me when people still do that, as well as drinking and driving. Like, these messages have been out for years. How come you still do it? Not good. Let's see if I can move this over a bit. Okay. No, not that one. This one. So as you can see, I'll go over it again. These are, I don't know if it's 6 strands or 5 strands I have right now. 5 strands it looks like. So I'm pulling out my next one. So I isolate 1. Okay. Like that. And I just lightly hold here. And I pull here. And as you can see, the thread bunches up. But if you pull gently and slowly, see, sometimes you have to let it go, then it will come right straight through. And then you put your 2 cut ends together. This is only for if you are doing with a single strand and you need a double. But if you're doing 3 strands, it's not going to work. So in that, you will have to attach it on the back. And I don't try to do that. I don't like it when I have too many knots and stuff. These knots aren't bad, but I've seen, oh my gosh, I've seen some that, and extra threads pulling on the end, and oh. If you're going to do this, you should, like anything else, take pride in what you do. See, I didn't do that right. You should have this end, the loopy end, longer than the cut end. You'd think by now I would know this. So here in Manitoba, it is very warm. Let's see, I'll ask my friend here. Alexa, what's the forecast?
In Oakville, it's 25 degrees Celsius with mostly sunny skies. Today, you can expect some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 27 degrees and a low of 13 degrees.
Okay. So there you heard it. It's basically the same thing as on the Weather Channel. Or the Weather Network. I think it's the Weather Network here. I was just looking at it. I always get those mixed up. The U.S. has, I think, the Weather Network. And we have the Weather Channel. Or it's the other way around. Whatever. Okay, so here we go. So have you picked out what you're going to do for Jolly July? Well, I have. Between the first video that didn't go up and this video, I picked out the 4 that I'm going to do. And I have it planned out in my book of days. And I am working 1 week on each one. And then at the end, I will have, I think we have 5 weeks in July. And I will pick one and just work on it the rest of the month. I could possibly have one finished, which would be good. But no guarantees. But you're going to have to watch tomorrow on my floss tube and see which ones I pick. I picked out of my stash. And then I'm going to give you all an opportunity to choose which one I should start first. So then I want you to put down for week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. And you will see my choices tomorrow. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that. If I told you now, I'd be giving away, such a secret. And heaven knows I don't want to do that. Not yet. Not yet. It would ruin the surprise. But, yeah, it is. I think I picked out 4 good ones. They're all printed. Only because when I do these stitch-alongs, I can't use my iPad for checking on my pattern. So I have to use my printed ones so that I can just stitch like this. So yeah, it's just a simple you just go along and you stitch, and it works well once you get the hang of it. Now, please don't be discouraged if you don't get it the first 10 times, the first 25 times, the first 100 times. That's okay. Just like any new skill, it takes time to learn, or a new job, before you feel comfortable. Nobody expects you to understand it all right off the bat. You have to find how your hands and fingers feel when you're working the sewing method. Yeah. So I'd be interested in hearing what you are planning on doing for Jolly July. Are you going to work on one project? Are you going to work on 2 or more? You don't care what you're working on. Perhaps you are working on one to give away for Christmas. That's not necessarily Christmas themed or winter themed, but that you will be giving to someone one of your projects. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm down at the end. See, there's nothing close by here. So then I go down and flip it over. And I like to go on ones kind of like this, because they hide so well. And then I can go like this. And I may go again. That way. And then it's hidden underneath. And I snip off right to the edge. That's from where I was practicing. So now you can see here I've got 2 clipped ends, 2 cut ends. But I have enough here that I could possibly do a few stitches where there are not many. Okay. So I find, all right, there's these ones. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's pink. That's orange. No, I'll leave that. So I'll go for these orange ones. And what I do is I go like this. And as you can see here, I have my tail there. And then I pull it to this point. And I hold it with my finger or my nail, and I push that through, and then I go under and under the tail there so that I can make a loop, and then I twist it like that. And then I try to pull it like that. Now there is a bit of a knot, but that's not bad. And this tail here, I'll go back and cut that off. usually when I'm finished my project, I flip it over and I will trim any tails that I can see that I'm not happy about. There. Now, some people would just throw this thread away, and that's fine. If you're comfortable with throwing thread away, then go and do it. But I like to try and use as much of my thread as possible. So you see here what I got done. I put in those 4 stitches on that one little piece of thread. And then I go back and I go under, and I'll come back over this way, and I will probably go that way and that way again. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta anchor that there. Okay. Now, to me, that's acceptable. Okay. That's acceptable. So then I go here and I trim that down because it's anchored really well. So, okay. Well, I'm going to try again for the second time to load this up. So if you're new to my channel, if you've come across me, thank you for watching till the end. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up right there. And if you really like it, I hope and pray you subscribe. And if you really, really like my channel, then please tell others about it. Because it all goes by word of mouth, right? Now, I'm not going to get like Stitching with the Housewives having, I don't know, whatever it is, they're 23,000 subscribers. Like, that's unrealistic. But I'm not growing in leaps and bounds, but I am growing one subscriber after another. So I thank you so very much for taking the time to spend some time with me and watching me stitch. If you need to know anything more, if you would like close-ups, I'm not sure if I can or not, but if you want me to maybe stitch a little bit closer, I can try, but as you can see, it's a little bit more difficult. Unless I can bring the camera down more. Oops. I could maybe do it that way, but then again, I am here where it's my hand's in the way, and it's a little bit blurry. So that's why I do, sorry about my hand. That's why I do it this way. Okay, people, may you have a wonderful Saturday afternoon and a fantastic rest of your weekend. Remember, tomorrow I am posting a floss tube video where I'm going to show you what I'm going to be stitching. And I'll be asking for your votes. And I'll be going through this again and possibly doing a little bit of stitching while we're talking face to face. Okay, again, have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and we will see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye for now.